Hey guys, this is Etsway from ShiGig coming at you. Today I'm coming at you with part one of what you need to prepare or what would help you prepare for a big tournament, like YCS for Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships for Vanguard, Bushy Road Festival, any really big tournament or even locals. So first off, before I get into this stuff, just want to mention I am using a new setup. I got a new tripod I'm going to try and use to record some gameplay and some other stuff. So tell me how you like this angle to what I've been using. So this is a little how, and I'll be changing the angles of the videos, or at least attempting to, so that way I can give you guys a little bit better angles and get you more screen, so we can see more instead of me trying to squeeze it into the screen. Because the old one was a little small, like it was just this, didn't extend or anything. It was just a flexible one that I thought was cool when I picked it up. Well, I got a new tripod, a new one that's 42 inches, so that way I can use it for trying to get you guys some real card fight gameplays instead of just card fight area. Alright, so first off, what you want to bring is definitely a mat. You don't want to use the paper ones over there that they will put on the tables, because those can actually scratch your card sleeves or scratch your cards and stuff. Something to do with paper and that. You can also use like this ones, ones you can get as sneak peeks or tournaments or boxes and stuff like that. Those are pretty good too. They're not very big. This one's the biggest one I have right now. It's very nice. I like the artwork and stuff, and yeah, matches my deck boxes currently. And my sleeves. So you also want to have like a dice or something to when you start to see who goes first. You can use rock paper scissors. That's the cheapest way, but I like to have a dice. I usually use the 20 because it has less a chance of getting tied and stuff like that. Because I've had games where I forgot my dice, and we just sat there playing rock, paper, scissors and stuff for like 10 minutes trying to get to whoever goes, to the point that we just said you can go first to the other opponent, because that does happen a lot. Another thing is decks. I usually bring a double deck box. If you're going to bring just one deck, then you can just you can just bring like that deck box and stuff. I have two. One that I'm usually play testing, or just my backup deck if I want to play that instead. Also, make sure you bring like backup sleeves, over sleeves, and the main sleeves you have there. So that way, if something gets torn or something, because that does happen, I've seen that happen at tournaments, and then the judges will make you re-sleeve them. If you don't have sleeves, you have to go out and buy them, and if you didn't bring the money, they will disqualify you. So just make sure you have extra sleeves or backup sleeves of those. It doesn't have to be a full pack, it can just be like 10 extra sleeves. So that way, don't have to receive the whole deck. You just have to re-sleeve that one card and stuff. It's usually just the oversleeves. I haven't had it to me happen before, but I've seen some of the corners get just a tiny bit damaged. And then I'll just usually change them out just in case to be safe. As for trades and stuff you're selling and stuff like that, also for deck boxes, you can bring these storage boxes. They're very nice. They hold 4 decks usually. They can hold more. I think the most I squeezed into them was about I want to say 8 decks I was able to squeeze into, and those were the Vanguard skinny ones, the ones you got for promos and stuff like that. I was able to squeeze 8 of those. So, again, for trade binders, don't use 3-ring binders for your big expensive cards. You want to use Monster, because these sleeves are very nice. Like, I just put the promos on the front, so that way, if something happens, the front page won't get damaged, and then the stuff. And try to keep it organized. Like, I have this one, I still have to go back and reorganize it. I try to organize it by clan, the other ones, and by sets. As you can see later, it gets really organized by what set it is, which card. So that way they're not going searching and going, oh, do you have multiple copies of this? Try and keep your stuff organized, because it really makes people actually go through. And they'll, instead, when they'll just go through the first 2 pages, they'll be like, oh, dude, everything's all messed up. I do have to reorganize this one, because the front pages got messed up after I sold some stuff. Because I just started putting promos from tournaments. As for rares, put it in here. Put them into like a 3-ring, because those aren't very expensive. They're like maybe $1 or so. Because the big difference is someone who wants to steal can just go like this to your hollows if you did put it in a 3-ring binder. While someone for Monster would have to actually struggle to pull it out. And while you're doing that, you can probably lay them flat on the ground by socking them in the face if they try to steal from you. That's one thing. Also, quick note, go through your rares, because you'll actually find some are worth some money. Because right now, titles sold, I've seen it at $8 right now because of the Aquaforce hype. So if you got stuff like that, go through your rares, find out. Maybe you'll find stuff that people are actually looking for. Like, for example, where's my maiden stuff? should be around here. There it is. Like, for example, the maiden cards from, I think it was set 14, is actually going up in price because people are looking for those and stuff to build a maiden deck with the trial deck. So those are good. I might do a binder update soon. So if you guys want one of those, just comment down below in the comment section. Also comment about the new angle and stuff if you like that better. Also with the mat, if I forgot to mention it, just bring a deck tube. These are very cheap. Those like $5 to $6. This is a monster one. They're pretty nice. The only problem I had was some of the bottoms would pop out if you put too much pressure on them. So don't like sit on them or put too many things in the back. That's the only thing I would say. Because it protects your mats. You spend your money on your mats. You want to keep them stuff safe. Like you want to protect your investments and stuff. Other things is when you go to a tournament, make sure you're always courteous to your opponent. I've already put a video up on this. I just want to make sure people do. Because when I went to World Championships in Pasadena, California, I saw a lot of people just being like rude attitude. There's one guy who just threw a fit because he had to line up to get his little goodie bag. So, yeah, just be courteous and be nice to the judges. Because last year, I believe Team Leagues, I did a video on it too, that there was a guy who pushed a judge down the stairs because he didn't like the fact that there was a round zero. Round zeros do happen. If a round zero does happen, don't panic. If you fail, it just saved you time because if you failed at round zero, you probably wouldn't have made it to the finals. You pretty much go to a tournament to have fun, so just focus on having fun. If you see anybody stealing, tell the judge, or also if you're having problems with railings or something, just right away call judge, ask the neighbor. That way you have backup and you don't get into a fight. Always be courteous because there are people who are just super rude. Just be nice. That's it. If you're having a bad time, maybe go sit down or maybe just take a break between rounds and stuff. Let's see. Also, make sure if you don't have internet on your phone, take a piece of paper, write down your prices of the cards, of everything in your binder that you think would be relevant. If you don't really care if it goes or not, then you can just go and just give an estimate like $1 or so, whatever you think the card's worth. Just don't go over. Yeah, just try and get your prices set if you don't have internet. Try and do that, or like write it maybe on, because I've seen people write it on the back of the sleeves. Just take a piece of paper and write it there. Keep that with you. That's a good way. And also, at the tournaments, you'll see vendors who buy cards from you. Cards that I was holding that I knew that I wouldn't sell for a while, I decided to take those to the vendors, and I made like $40 off of 4 cards, and they were like Grand Blue and some Bermuda stuff, and I think they're Neo Nectars too. So, like, they'll buy your cards. They won't be like the top price. They'll probably be at half price, but at least you got something instead of sitting on the card and maybe never selling it. That's pretty much it for that. Other than that, quick note, before you go, make sure you play test your deck as much as possible. I'll go into which decks are the best to bring to like team leagues or to a tournament during each one, because I'll go and get you guys on card fight area, and I'll put like all the cards into one deck so that way I can just pull them up on there and show you guys there. That'll be part 2. I'll be working on that right after this video, so that should be up the next day after this one. Just go and play test at your locals. Bring a deck that you feel comfortable with if you don't have the competitive deck. Try not to be rushing at the end to pick up the cards you need, because when you do that, the prices there will probably be more expensive than you would find it before, because it's last minute and they know they can get the prices higher because you'll be desperate researching to complete your deck. That's one thing to be sure of, is just don't try and complete your deck last minute at the tournament. There will be people selling. Like I go there and sell too. When I do go to the tournaments, that's one great place to sell your cards too. Just make sure you know what you need. Bring it. Make sure that you play tested everything against every deck, even Dark Irregulars, Pale Moon, just all the rogues. If you haven't play tested that much, go to card fight area. If you guys want me to put up a tutorial, comment below and I'll put a tutorial how you can get card fight area on PC and how you can get it on Mac, because I use it on Mac and you have to use a wineskin to play it. So if you guys need that, I can show you how to get that. If you don't have those at locals, diverse. Go on card fight area, test those decks, have your friend go on with you, play against each other, test the deck against them, just get a feel of how to verse that deck, because I see a lot of people complain about playing against the cross, and it's most of the time is they don't know how to play the card, or even they don't even know how to play their deck. Talking about those people who play Royal Paladin online, because a lot of them don't know that damage, that G unit that gives it damage, they always just counterblast 2 and go damage when they don't even have the 5 regards to pay the cost. So they have to have 5 regards to deal damage. They never do, and then just say take a damage, and you don't make the cost. So definitely know your cards for your deck. If you don't know the cards for your deck, you're most likely going to have a hard time because you won't even know how to play your deck correctly. You can just pick up a deck and play it. You need to practice it. You need to get accustomed to it. You need to be comfortable to get out situations and stuff, how to deal with green and great stuck, if you miss G assist, if you don't hit the right chain, this and that. You just need to practice. Practice against every deck, every clan, because you will see them. Like at the festival in Pasadena, I saw a Dr. Regular player playing Amon Reverse. He made it to the 7th round playing Amon Reverse because no one expected him to play it, and he was pretty cool. He was pretty good at playing that deck. I did play against him. I did win, but it was a good fight. It was a really good fight. It was pretty fun. That's the kind of thing is you will see rogue decks if they can't afford the competitive decks or maybe even the lower tier decks or stuff like that. Because that's the kind of thing with Vanguard is you can win with any deck. They do support even old decks. They support new stuff, especially with the new Fighters collection coming out. They supporting really old stuff like Ezel's. Unfortunately, I hate Ezel, but that's another story. But like they're supporting new stuff like Revengers, Duels, Prisms, Grand Blue, and stuff. So that's kind of thing is Bushiroad always will support. Try and like support older decks so that way those can come back and still be able to win. They may not be as competitive because they want to support the new stuff, but it's something that Bushiroad does that's really nice. That's pretty much it for part 1. If there's any questions, you can put in the comment section below again. I will have part 2 up the next day, probably after this one, and I will talk about which decks would be the best to bring to the tournaments and like what, depending on like when your team leagues are. I will go there and I'll point out like if your team leagues are during this period, which decks would be best, and then when the next period is, because there'll be new products out, which would be the best decks. For example, how for California, as team leagues is going to be in a couple weeks, so it's going to be, I think it's the day after the Aqua Force trial that comes out and the Dimension Police Extra Booster comes out. So I will mention that you can, if you have them, if you did pick up all your cards for the Dimension Police, I'll mention those, like how the products come out, so like new decks come out during that time that your team leagues will be. I'll do that. Also, if you guys want a trade binder video, just tell me and I will put one up, because I did pick up some new cards, some new Abysses, some older support and new support that actually are still seeing play or can just be played for fun decks. This is it, so signing out. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.